All right, we are live. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is having a beautiful day. Welcome to Dance Tea with Shannon D. That is me. And if you're new here, welcome to the channel, the place to be for tips and hacks for dance artists. Now, every week I put out videos that could be helpful to our community, but I also go live interviewing different artists and holding discussions relevant to our dance community. And today's guest is a dear friend of mine. Her name is Luna. She's a professional belly dancer in Mexico. And she's also a teacher, a choreographer. She owns her own school called CASA. How I know her, she is a principal dancer, assistant director, and contributing choreographer for Bellydance Evolution's new production of The Jungle Book. So we're going to get a little bit into that as well. But yes, Luna, welcome to T-Sesh. Hola!
Hi everyone, how are you? How are you, Shannon?
I'm good. I'm so glad to see you, and thank you for coming on. How is everything over there in Mexico? Let's address that first with this pandemic.
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me. It's such an honor to be here with you and everybody. I really like your channel, so I hope it goes higher and better.
Thanks, girl.
Here in Mexico, things are very shady. I think we have like some clear, like you can open your studio and then just kidding, go back to quarantine. So it's been hard moments for everybody, especially as an artist. But
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is, and we are not alone in this. So I don't know.
So is your dance studio open now? Are you allowed to open now or no?
No, it's closed, and I'm just doing online sessions and classes.
It's a real struggle these days. Hang in there, everyone. There's really not much we can do, but just be in the moment and stay close to the people that we're close to. But I'm glad you're okay, because after we had our premiere for Bellydance Evolution's The Jungle Book in Germany, and that was in the beginning of March. And Luna actually went to Paris right after, and that was really around the time when the pandemic hit. So I'm glad you're okay, and I'm glad I'm okay too.
Yes. We made it back.
We made it back, and we put ourselves through a 2-week. You went through the 2-week quarantine, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, big time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same here. And now we're at a 4-month quarantine.
Yeah, for the time that I was able to go out after my 2 weeks, the whole country went into quarantine. So I was like, oh.
Well, I'm used to it.
Yeah, I already trained.
Well, I'm excited to have you on, Luna, because I think you're an amazing human being. I've gotten to know you a lot actually, you and I were roommates in Germany, so I really got to know you so much, and I wanted to bring you on here because I just feel like you have so much to share and to contribute to our dance community and what you do for the belly dance community as well. So, but before we dive into what you're up to these days, I always like to ask belly dancers how they got into belly dance, because it's such a specific style to get into. And normally when you think of dancers, they're always going to say hip hop or jazz or ballet, but belly dance. So I want to know why belly dance? How did you get started in belly dance, and why? What do you love about it?
Well, it is a funny story actually, because as you mentioned, I was a former hip hop dancer and commercial dancer. That was my thing. I was a break dancer actually. So, but my best friend at a time, she of course was more feminine than me and more cute, and and she was doing belly dance. And then her father got transferred to another city. So she told me literally, I just have 1 year more in this city. We need to do everything together. So you are coming to my classes, and I'm going to your classes. And that's how I ended up in belly dance.
Oh, so it was through a friend.
Yeah, my best friend introduced me to this art form, and then I fall in love with it.
Oh, well, what was it? What was about belly dance that, yeah, I mean, you're still obviously, you're belly dancing today, and which you do a little bit of breakdancing in it's still, but what is it about belly dance that you love so much? Because I get this question all the time, like why belly dance? So yeah, why belly dance?
Well, I think for my particular opinion on it has to be more with the style that I choose to perform as a belly dancer. Because when I started,
Mm.
of course, I was into Oriental and everything, but also I was doing a lot of tribal fusion, which is more likely to hip hop. So I was like, oh, this is cool. This is weird. I like this. And then right now, I think that the possibilities as a fusion dancer with having belly dance as my main style has
Mm.
is the thing that I love most. That I'm able to do whatever I want, keeping the roots of belly dance itself, which is kind of like the cadency and all the, I don't know, the wavy stuff. That's what I like most.
Right, right, right. Yeah, and I think you're such a powerful performer on stage, and you really captivate people, and you do have a very distinct style, which is what I love about you, and you bring something different to the table, which I love. Um, well, like this is another question that I always ask dancers. Were your parents supportive of you going into belly dancing? Because I know you mentioned to me that you had been training for a long time as a synchronized swimmer, and I'm sure your parents were very supportive of that for you. So were they supportive of you transitioning to become a belly dancer?
Yes, yes, big time. When I was doing synchronized swimming here in my city, there was like a limit of age, and if I wanted to continue and be a competitive synchronized swimmer, like in the big leagues, I needed to move to another city. And my parents asked me, "Do you want to move? Like, do you want to go to another city and pursue this career?" And at the time, I was 15, and I was like, "No, I don't want to miss the quinceañeras of my friends." And I don't know. Sometimes I tell my mom, "Mom, you should have like forced me to do it, like you know." But then she tells me always like, if I will force you, like you wouldn't be doing it for happiness. So I think it was your choice, and at the end you are doing better stuff, like you're happier and you found your thing.
Well, that's a thank you, mom.
Big time.
That's a good
Yeah.
mom. Yeah.
My mom has always been very supportive. Uh, I think because she wanted to be an artist, and then of course those times weren't so artistic oriented.
Yeah.
So now she's kind of like, go for it, go for it, go for it. With my dad, it was a little bit harder because he literally told me, I asked you what you wanted to study, and you said graphic design and advertising, and now you're telling me that you don't want to do that anymore. Like, so it was kind of hard with him, but he always supported me. Like, it was just more like a talking and
Yeah.
a little bit.
Parents. Parents. So he's on the bandwagon now. He's good with with you, Belly. I mean, you're doing so well for yourself. You have your own, you have your school, you're touring, and we'll get into more of that later on. I also um, have some questions from Instagrammers, so we'll get into that too. Oh, I forgot to ask you, what are you drinking?
Ginger tea with honey and lemon.
Was it? Oh no, it wasn't. It wasn't. That's really good for dancers, like before performance and stuff. But I just remember when you and I were trying not to get sick on tour, and you and I would gargle salt.
Yeah, I mean, you did it.
You didn't get sick, right?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I want to say quite a few of us did get sick after that show, but um, so one thing that I think spending many years training as a synchronized swimmer, I'm sure that has influenced you in some way in the way you approach belly dance, or has it? Have you learned anything from synchronized swimming that you notice that you also apply in belly dance? Because I think that's amazing, synchronized swimming. I mean, I can't even imagine doing that myself.
It's very fun. I'm not sure if I'm able to do it right now, but definitely, all of my lines come from there, and especially when I choreograph, I always kind of like choreograph the same way, like with just arms, um, but they are my legs. Like it's something weird, like mathematic stuff, and but definitely it's on there, and I think also the musicality, because
Ah,
we were like, as a synchronized swimmer, you have to hear the music under the water, and of course, even with the great equipment, the water makes different, like it got distortion. So
right.
the ear, it's kind of like super trained to hear all those levels and then some accents. And I think I do choreograph, and I do a lot of my stuff thinking as if I was doing it in the water.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Does it even make sense?
I want to ask more questions about it. But I think that's so interesting because I never thought I'd choreograph myself, and I never thought about choreographing in a different condition, aka being underwater. Um, I wonder if you that probably puts way more personality and getting more details in the music because of that, right? For you?
Big time, big time.
That's
Yeah.
so interesting. When I have a question, when they choreograph in synchronized swimming, how do they choreograph? Is there any particular formula with how they choreograph it, or it's really just free for all, same in belly dance? I know everyone has their own approach to it, but what's kind of your approach?
For synchronized swimming, we have some lines like you have to cover for competitions. Like, let's say we do two choreographies or two performances. One is pure technical, and the other one you have artistic liberties, but you need to do a list of movements or evolutions that are required for that piece. So everything builds on top of those technici- technician. Is that a word?
Um, techni- techniques?
Not techniques, like specific movements that everybody,
Ah, okay.
like, let's say,
Ah, I see. I see.
yeah, let's say, for example,
Components, maybe
components.
components. Yeah.
Yeah, for example, in belly dance, it will be like, oh, you need to choreograph this piece with having at least 5 turns and walking Maya, Egyptian shimmy, and hair toss.
Right.
So
Give, give me a hair toss. Just one to the right.
just one. Yeah, it's very specific. So I think that's also the approach that I took with dance. I some
Mm.
people don't agree with me, but I do look at it as a sport and as a discipline. So I'm very focused on technique and like building on top of something like written before, or I don't
Hmm. Interesting. So when you choreograph, do you what do you notice for you mostly? Is it you listen to a song and then you get inspired by the song and then you choreograph to that song, or is it more like you have this feeling and it needs to match the song, so let me go find the song that matches what I want to create?
It depends, but mostly, for example, for some specific roles that I already know what do I have to express or to perform, like I don't know, let's say Bagheera. Of course, I already knew the character and everything, so I start putting a list of things that I wanted to incorporate in the choreography, like cat moves,
Mm.
floor work, jumps, and facial expression, and then I hear the music like forever, like let's say a week. Well, it's not forever, but a lot, in repetition, and then I'm like, oh, I jumped there. Uh-huh. Then,
Right.
then I try those kind of like set movements that I want to do, and everything else is improv, and then I start building from there.
Ah, well, for those of you who are watching, Luna plays Bagheera in the new production of Belly Dance Evolutions, the Jungle Book. So that is her character in the show. Yeah, I thought you were very, very playful, and you could really see the different expressions and the gestures that you had were very specific, so you knew, okay, um, she's playing Bagheera, she's playing a character. So yeah, that was one of the things that I loved about your movements and your solos as well. I think it's so interesting because I tend to do the same. I tend to be more of a visual person, and I have to listen to the music forever. I want to say that 80% for me of choreographing, 80% is sitting and listening to the music.
Big time, yes. In repetition, in the car,
Yeah,
taking a shower, cooking.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And uh, I think people don't realize that you really have to know the music before you can create anything, because you're working in partnership with the song, with the music. It's not that you're just doing your own thing and this just happens to be song. No, you're basically painting visually what the song is, but it's also, a nice yeah, partnership, I guess you want to say.
Yeah, agree.
Uh, I love that. I love choreographing, and I know you do too. And you probably love because you get so many opportunities. You have your own school, Casa Luna, and you have your own dance company, correct? Colectivo Lunar.
Mhm.
Thank you, Espanol. um, how has that been going for you? I know you mentioned that you're on lockdown, so you're not able to obviously meet with your company members or your students and stuff. How is it teaching via Zoom? Have you had to any difficulties there? Any compromises you've had to make?
Yeah, I'm actually not doing Zoom sessions. I'm
Oh,
doing
okay.
like pre-recorder classes, and then we have a platform so the students can go in and out and pause and replay as many times as
Ah,
they want. And I think this is actually working better for me because I've also taken Zoom classes or online stuff, and there is always a delay. There is always a cat running. There is so and it's I like I can't interact that much with the students. So this way, I'm also not interacting with them, but they are sending me their videos of the class, like the combos or the choreography, and I'm giving detailed feedback for them. But of course, I'm not choreographing group pieces or anything like that. Mhm.
Mm. That's interesting. I think you're probably the second person I know that's decided not to take the Zoom route. And that person, my other friend, also has said the same thing as well. I noticed for me, I really have a hard time teaching Zoom, especially if it's a song that people are unfamiliar with because of the timing. It's just there's always a delay, whether it be before what I say or after what I say. So when you're saying 5, 6, 7, 8, it already passed
Yes.
or it hasn't come yet. So that's interesting. Yeah, I might consider it. Um, I want to move to belly dance evolution, and that's how I know you as, or that's where I've gotten to know you from. I want to know, how did you first get involved in belly dance evolution?
In 2014, I did my first casting, and I was so lucky to get picked in the that at that time it was called tribal fusion
Hmm.
thing, whatever. So it was for Alice in Wonderland in Mexico, and that was my very first show and my very first approach to belly dance evolution. Of course, I already knew like videos and everything, and it was my dream, and and I was table number 2, and that's, I mean, I'm so proud of it because people sometimes think that like success or lead roles just fall from the sky, and it's not like that. I mean, I literally was table number 2, not even 1, table number 2, girls. And then I just kept showing up and showing my best too. And I also wasn't shy of showing my own style. Like, in every piece, you have like a 8 counts of improv, and I was improv the hell of it, like showing why I was different. And I think that's why Jelena kind of like put her eye on me, and they were like, oh, she's weird, she's different. Yeah. And then from there, I got invited again and up to here.
Yeah, I think it's phenomenal. So this has been a dream for you to be a part of belly dance evolution.
Yes, big time. And I tell my students and my friends, like, my dream was to be part of Belly Dance Evolution in a production as a chorus. I didn't mind. Like, that was my dream. And now I'm realizing that that dream has grown and overpassed my previous dream. So I'm kind of like in the clouds.
You're on cloud nine. Um, yeah, that's amazing because I remember first meeting you in Alice in Wonderland. We did the West Coast tour together, so that was how I first met you. And I didn't know you so much then, but I knew that you were a super cool chick. So I'm glad to be getting to know you a lot more this year, and hopefully, can we just forget about this year?
Yes, please.
Let's just forget about this year. Um, how, because I know you're co-director for BDX,
Mhm.
and you're also an assistant director for Belly Dance Evolution, and you're a choreographer, and you're a principal dancer. For someone who is just, maybe curious about, I mean, how do you juggle all of that? Is that something that's overwhelming for you? Do you have maybe any tips for dancers who would are trying to figure out how to juggle hats and things like that?
Yes, I gotta be honest. It's very overwhelming, especially also by having like my solo career in my school and my graphic design stuff that I still do. So there are some moments that I'm like, ah, and I see that it's reflected on my pieces. Some pieces started to be
Mm.
the same pieces, like same movement, same vibe. So I was like, okay, I need to do something. What should I do? So first thing, I start to delegate more stuff to my teachers in Casa Luna. I step back a little bit, and then I also plan like kind of like, okay, one week is gonna be BDE and the other week is gonna be BDX. I can't be combining because the pieces are being combined, the feeling is being combined, and everything is so confusing. And even for the pieces that I created for Bellydancer Evolution, I asked my company, hey, come on and play with me. I need to try some stuff and give me your ideas. So, and they were of course super happy, and it was a collective choreography and collaboration. And I think that's one of the biggest things that you have to be like to accept in this position. Like you can't do anything by yourself. You need help, and that help probably is gonna create something even better. Like
Mm. So basically getting help,
yeah,
pretty much.
yeah, exactly.
I Yeah, I mean, I'm struggling. Well, what do you say to someone who is scared of getting help? I know a lot of people tend to be like this. They have a lot on their plate, and they're so worried about maybe the product or the outcome being not how they wanted it because of getting help from other people. What do you say about that? What's your experience been with that? Is that true?
It is true.
Or
It is true. I was like that too before, and when with all the traveling, I start realizing that like Casaluna emergencies or stuff, like I couldn't even read the messages until night, and then the thing was already off, like stuff like that. And so I decided to create like a training for my teachers. So I trained them, uh, hardcore training for a month. This is how you answer emails. This is how you teach this movement. This is how you start the class. If this happened, so I literally trained them on how I wanted to be my school and the vibe and everything, so I could be more peaceful to live it. So because of course there is that fear of like, oh, but that's not how the way that I wanted to, or like we don't do that in warm up or stuff like that matters me as a director. So I was like, what's the easiest thing? I'm just gonna train them, and of course they have liberties to do their own stuff on their own creativity, but we follow like a rule.
like guidelines?
Method. Yeah, we have a method. hmm
Interesting. How long was that training process?
Kind of like a month. Of course, not every day, but kind of like a month, and we are still doing some renewals. Like my teachers are required to take my classes, so they keep growing and improving, and I always try
Right,
to give
right.
them all of the possibilities for them to grow too.
Huh. I think that's super key. Yeah. You're basically creating different a bunch of Lunas.
Kind of, because I also don't want to.
Kind of.
I don't
Yeah,
want
of course.
to, but yes, like for example, in the company, everybody dance different, right? but we have some guidelines that comes from synchronized swimming. Like if we are gonna do arms above, we always do triangle form. Or if we're gonna just kind of like the BDE style, turn to the right, grab, turn to the left, grab, stop
Right.
that. So I also feel super comfortable going away and letting someone continue the choreography that I left before.
So okay, so you have this. What's another Luna vibe move?
The Illuminati walking. I I I invent like a lot of names and witch moves, and but they know what I mean. So it's kind of like our own languages.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about because you already told me this.
The Illuminati.
I love that. I love that. I think yeah, that definitely makes me feel more. I mean, should I decide to expand and or should anyone decide to expand? And I think it goes to say you still. I mean, yeah, you of course you are taking risks, right? But it's a conversation that that it's an ongoing conversation that can be made. Um, very cool. Very cool. What I think going off of that, have you implemented any kind of habits that have made a dramatic, and positive shift for you? I mean, I think that one, obviously training your dancers, but anything in your personal life or dance life that you've kind of implemented in, let's say, the past year?
I start to eat better, and not eat better, to be more conscious about my alimentation and my food. But I mean, I don't always success, right? So, but I do pay attention more now to what do I eat, especially at what time do I eat. Because being on tour, you lost
Yeah.
track of time, and then you're like, oh my God, 5 hours without food. Mm. So now I'm very kind of like more settled on that. Like I bring my snack and and I don't care. Like I just go and grab a bite. So because that way my body and my mind, it's like it feels better and I feel more focused. And I try to
Yeah.
do that here at home. Like from quarantine, I always like wake up and then I record the classes for Casa Luna, then breakfast, then work, lunch. So I had kind of like a schedule, which I gotta say I don't always follow, and some days are no bueno, but I try.
I feel you. I think implementing a schedule, especially for lockdown, when for us we went into lockdown. I mean, I don't know what you would call American lockdown, but it was our lockdown on March 20th, and on that day I knew if I didn't create a schedule for myself, I would be screwed. Just because I would just be like, forget about everything. I will eat my life away, and sleep my life away. So yeah, absolutely, having a schedule that even if you don't follow it, every couple of days, but you know that it's there, it really keeps you on track. That's helped me a lot.
Yes, yes, especially after, because after our debut, I went for vacations, and of course, I wasn't following any schedule, any diet, any nothing. So I came back and I was on that vibe, like, wine at 10 a.m., sleep. And then I was like, oh no, this is like, I'm not on vacation anymore. I need to take it up.
Get back on it. Get back on it. I mean, it's good that you went on vacation. I have to say, because when you're in a that week of rehearsals, it's very intense, especially for a debut. And going back to that, how was that was your first year as an assistant director, right? Or this is your first production as an assistant
Um,
director? Or am I right or no?
yes and no, because the last year touring with Phantasm, I was also being an assistant director. But just until the Jungle Book, I was kind of like, I got the title.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Yeah, but I was already doing it for Phantasm.
I see. I see. So you already knew what was going to go down, but was this different for you, the Jungle Book? Because yeah, how was it different for you? What were some of the struggles that you went through
Um,
during that week? I mean,
because of course Phantasm, it was already made, and I just got kind of like the binder and ready to go, 5, 6, 7, 8. And for
right.
Jungle Book, it was from scratch, from 0 to 100. And of course, I'm super prepared. And first day, oh, this is not working. Oh, we need more time for this. Oh, the prop. Oh, so everything needed to shift out and improvise. And also being a lead role, I figured out, and now I know that I needed to put more time on my solo prior the show, because I didn't have time to practice or anything, and I was so stressful too because of that, and I was like, oh, I should have been 100% prepared for this. But I think at the end, everything came all together, and it was a great show. Of course, there's some like things that now I know or we know
Next
for
time.
the next tour, and it's gonna continue evolving and improving. But the first time, definitely difficult.
Yes, it was definitely a roller coaster, but I have to say, it was such a strong cast. Um, and I think everyone really just delivered, and everyone was just super helpful. I myself, that was also a lesson that I learned after that show was come prepared.
You are not gonna
uh,
have time.
yeah, you're not gonna have time at all. Yeah, that was definitely a big learning lesson for me too. Um, were there any moments where you just felt like just completely overwhelmed? And
Um,
how did you cope with that?
in that specific tour,
Yes, that week.
I think one of those moments, it's I mean it's super banal, or I don't know if that's kind of the word, but I wasn't expecting to lose that much weight, and my costume was shipped over there, so when I received, it was huge for me. And then I was like, oh, okay, just stitch here, stitch there, I do it tomorrow. And then you saw me, I was kind of like stitching in the bathroom, stitch like, and that created me like an overwhelming, like, I don't know, like something that had to be done before. And also I think having, but it's out of our control, like the time for the choreographies, like I didn't spend that much time in some choreographies, and then I was kind of like, we need more time, but also we need more time for this. So what to sacrifice, what is more important, what is more like beneficial for the show. But I think it was on time. Like I didn't have
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think for people who are watching, I don't think a lot of people realize that sometimes it's the other stuff that's outside of the show. It's sometimes it's not even the choreography, sometimes it's not even the performance that stresses you out more
Mhm.
than say a costume. and finishing, making sure that costume finishes, because and I think we can all agree, you know, that that little thing that could be taken care of before, that will automatically just level down your nerves. I don't think I've ever seen so many snaps in a costume as much as I've seen in yours.
Big time, big time. I was like, like million snaps, but it helped. Like,
Hey, it worked, and you know, your choreography is so acrobatic that everything has to be on point. It has to stay and really stick to.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you don't want any accidents, huh?
I couldn't risk it.
Nope, nope. Um, Oh, that was such a fun production. I really can't wait to get back on stage and work on that production. It's such a beautiful show for everyone, anyone who's watching. Be sure to stay tuned for Belly Dance Evolutions, the Jungle Book, coming soon, 2021.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, and our first guest will be Mr. Coronavirus himself. Um, well, anyway, what do you think has contributed to your success, and what do you think got you to your dreams quickly? Say.
The people I surrounded with,
Mm,
big time. I mean, because all of my friends, family, teachers, everyone always kind of like support me, and even if I wasn't sure about it or anything, they were kind of like pushing me. Like for my first casting, I didn't want to do it, and then at that time, my boyfriend of that time, he literally paid the fee and told me, "You're already in. Send your videos." And thank you. Like
oh,
that, and having Jelena as a teacher and as a mentor, of course, she's
of
such an
course.
example. Like all of my teachers have been so humble, and I think that's one of the most important things to actually brings you to success. To succeed,
Yeah.
stay humble, stay rooted, and surround yourself with talented people, creative people, supportive people, and I don't know.
Yeah, Jelena is such a supportive queen and such a humble and so giving as well. I definitely owe my entire um, belly dance, but not just belly dance, but also my performance career to her, because she also gave me a shot with, you know, accepting me into Sahlala, which is her local company. And that has taught me and has shaped me as a performer immensely. So yeah, you're so on the ball with that. It's really surrounding yourself with people who are only going to lift you up
Yeah.
and keep you lifted in times that you're feeling low. um I want to shift gears a little bit, and we're going to go into some of our Instagram questions. And uh, I think a couple of people just wanted to stay anonymous, so no worries. First question is, what are some tips you have for dancers that want to be part of a production like Belly Dance Evolution?
Show up, do the casting, and if you didn't like, if you don't get it the first time, do it again. Show up to the workshops of the directors. Keep learning. I mean, it's just about that. Like sometimes a video doesn't show exactly like what the performer is trying to show us. So if you show up to a workshop, we might catch you. You know what I mean? Kind of like, and
Mm.
seeking opportunities. It just finished a competition, worldwide online competition. Both Jelena and me were part of the judge panel, and we were already like, hey, this chick, hey, look at this, like trying to reach people to for further production. So it doesn't have to be just belly dance evolution. It has to be kind of like all the media. Like what are you bringing?
Mm.
Keep showing up, keep learning, make some contacts, reach out, like send me a
Mm.
message, whatever. Like like just pursue. Like don't let the scores or the failures to bring you down.
Right,
And
right,
also, very important, I think this is very important if you want to be part of a company. It doesn't matter if it's belly dance evolution or not, but you need to learn how to dance in team, like with people. Because a lot of the belly dancers are soloists and they are pretty amazing. But for these types of production, you need to be able to know how to dance with people. So just practice with your
right.
friends, like do more of like a group stuff, even just for fun. And that's kind of like one of the top requirements.
That's such a good point. Is knowing that because there is a difference, and a lot of people don't know that there's a difference between soloist, performing as a soloist and performing in a group, and that goes for all styles of dance for any company or even class. So the more you practice that, um, the better off you'll be. Your say if people did want to reach out to you, your Instagram handle is Luna Poumian, right?
Yes,
All right.
you got it.
Right there, right there. So if you guys want to reach out to her, ask any questions, or take her classes, be a student, learn from her, you guys can reach her at Luna Poumian. Um, ew, nada. Um, all right. So our next question is, who's your favorite belly dancer? I
um,
guess you can have many. You can have many because everyone, there's something to like about everybody. But
well, I gotta say, Isadora Kushkovitsky, or I don't know if I'm pronouncing her last name well, but she's known as Isadora Tejedora. She actually doesn't dance that much anymore, but I remember she was the first time, like it was, I took a workshop with her ages ago, like ages. I was a baby belly dancer, just, I was kind of like 16 or something. Um, and it was the first belly dancer that I saw was doing some type of weird fusion. And then I was like, I like this. And so she became kind of like my favorite belly dancer until now.
okay. I'll have to look into her. Maybe you can send me some links of her videos, and I can put it on the description of this YouTube so that people can go check her out. I want to check her out. Have you shown me a video of her?
Probably, yes, the one with the candles that she's doing like an Indian.
Ah, yes, 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 yes. Oh my gosh, good times. I'll definitely put that in the link. What if you had to choose your favorite belly dancer that is currently dancing?
Fast. Uh, I'm losing
I
the
am my favorite.
me, myself, and I. No, I mean, it's very hard because there are a lot of amazing belly dancers currently, and everybody has a different style. Like, the Argentinian style, the Russian style, the Egyptian style, the fusion style. And in the fusion style, there's tons of styles too. So do I really need to answer that question?
No, you don't have to answer anything.
I,
Yeah, no,
I don't have like a favorite currently. I love them all, and
I
yeah,
feel you. There's so many. There's just so many.
and everybody's so
Um,
good.
I think I think not so much to do with styles, more so to do with how comfortable that person is in their skin. That is what I'm attracted to the most. It's not so much that you're, maybe you can just like shimmy your booty off, or, or you're just amazing with hair whips, or, sometimes I just find myself drawn to the performers that just really know their body, and you can tell they know that they know their body really, really well. And I think it's so, so beautiful. And those tend to be um, my favorite dancers, I
I
would say. When they show you their story and where they come from without having to say anything, that's just gorgeous.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Um, so on to the next question. This one is a classic. We get this all the time. Not we, I get this all the time, but I also feel like in every interview, this question comes up all the time. So if you could go back in time and tell your, let's say 18-year-old Luna self, um, what would you, or what you could tell them anything, you could tell her anything. What would you say to her? Any advice you would give her?
Mm, yes, I have been asked this question a lot of times, and I always say I will probably take myself quit school and go for dancing sooner than later. But I also think that it was such an important part of my career, like because I did a master's degree in the United States. And if it wasn't for that master's degree, for example, I will never had the opportunity to tour with Virginia Mendes company, for example, or study with her on a regular basis. So I think what I will probably tell me was kind of like trust your instinct and seek for those doors, even if you are kind of like not happy where you are.
Mm, that's some good advice. That's good advice. I know. I think it's such an interesting question because, um, if I were to go back in time, I don't even think I would listen to myself. So
Big time. Like, who
it's
are
like,
you?
who are you? You look like me, but older. Um,
Like that.
no, thank you. I'm not gonna listen to you. But okay, we have our next question. This one comes from Jelena. What's What's your favorite and least favorite thing about being a studio owner?
Oh, that's hard. I'm gonna start with the least favorite because I already know. The least favorite is that I have to charge. That's like I want to give everything for free and everybody comes and take
Yeah.
advantage of everything, but of course it's not possible. At least not now. Maybe someday. And like having had to have those hard decisions about like some dancers that maybe I need to let them go or stuff like that. I think that's because I'm very emotional and I do kind of like believe in peace for everything, but it's not always like that. And the best thing is that I'm able to share my knowledge to people and to kind of like leave something. I don't know.
Like a legacy, something
Right.
behind.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic what you're doing. You know, to have that those are such big accomplishments that I think you've made. You know, having students and offering your help and your talents to other people, and also being a part of you know, productions. And I mean, you're doing so much. I think it's unbelievable. Congratulations.
Yay! I'm alive.
You're alive. Um, we have one more question. One more, and this one is: can you recall any failures you've had in your life that have have become almost like a blessing in disguise that has kind of become a success for you?
Yes. I mean, the master degree, like I really like. I was super excited to do it, and then I wanted to quit. I even called my parents, like, "Hey, I'm coming back to Mexico. I don't want to be here. Like, I want to dance. I just realized that I want to be an artist." and and I think I didn't took advantage of all the knowledge that I could have gained with the masters. I finished it. I finished well and everything, but I do remember that I was paying more attention to other stuffs than that. So I was just doing it because I needed to finish it. And in some way, it's kind of like a failure because I fail myself. Like I don't know. It feels bad to know that I didn't put that much effort on it. But since I was too busy seeking for performances, seeking for teachers, seeking for opportunities, well, I'm here now. So it's a win-win, and I'm still using the master's degree for my art direction and stuff. So win-win.
Right. So are you graphic designing for different clients? Is that what you're doing with that?
Yeah,
Okay.
and even for Belly Dance Evolution, I do a lot of the art work there.
Ah, I did not know that. I did not know that. Brilliant. Well, now, you know, if anybody needs some logos, make sure you hit up Luna. Well, that is the end of our Instagram questions, and just to wrap it up, one more question from me. What are your goals? What are your future goals?
I don't have.
Any goals?
Right now is I don't know because 2020 was my year. I was like, this is the year, girl. Boom.
I know.
And then so I think, well, long term, of course, or forgetting about COVID situation, I wish like at some point I could have like my own touring company and to have to let Casaluna be itself as a space for art, like without me. Does that make sense?
Yes,
In Spanish, that's
absolutely.
much better.
I know. I wish I spoke Spanish. I feel like there'd be some no, but I totally understand that. Um I think those are pretty good goals.
I hope I can get there.
I think you will get there, absolutely, especially with how driven you are and dedicated you are to your craft. Absolutely, 100%. Thank you, Luna, for spending your time with me and letting me dive into your life. And
Thank you for inviting me, and it was such a nice moment and chat. I really enjoy it.
if you guys want to reach out again on Instagram, we have Luna Poumian. Are you on any other platform, social media platforms?
Facebook as Luna Poumian Artist is my fan page, and then YouTube Luna Poumian.
Luna Poumian. Okay, I'll put that all in the description below. Thanks again. Luna's the best. Oh, we have a comment here from Edna Toscano.
Ah, I want to give a shout out to Edna Toscano. She was third place on the Bellydancer World Cup, and also another one of my students from my company, Gabriela Iturriaga. Congratulations, they placed. So I'm super happy and excited.
Nice, congratulations, Edna. She says Luna is the best teacher and friend.
Thank you.
Heart emoji. She really is. I have to say, I'm very grateful to have gotten to know you much more in that week of us doing the debut. And as much as we both needed sleep, we both stayed up until 3, 4 in the morning, just laughing our butts off about stuff. And it was absolutely wonderful, great experience, and I love being able to work with you. So, thank you again for coming on, Luna.
No, thank you, Shannon. I hope we can see each other and hug each other very soon.
Yes, yes. And I actually would want to do another one if you're interested, because I want to dive more into the choreographic process because I think it's phenomenal. I absolutely love, asking and going, different how people go about creating dances. I think it's the coolest thing ever.
Yes.
So yeah, let's do it. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. This live session will be saved. So if you want to go and check it out, you still can if you missed out. And thanks again, Luna. Have a good day. Thank you guys. Mwah.